In this video, I will be previewing wide receivers for the 2025 NFL Draft. Stay tuned.
Don't know why anymore. Oh no. So come on, feel the noise. Girls grab the boys. We'll get wild, wild, wild. We'll get wild, wild, wild. So come on, feel the noise.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Huddle Up Denver. This is our 2025 NFL Draft preview. We're looking at the wide receiver position in this episode. 2024, Denver had a fairly young receiver room. We had Courtland Sutton, who is a seasoned vet. He really had a solid year last year, 81 catches, 1,081 yards, 8 touchdowns. There are some contract issues with Courtland, so we're going to have to see how that plays out. Our second best receiver was Javonte Williams with 41 catches. He is gone. He's with the Cowboys now. So we're going to need somebody to pick up some slack there, preferably somebody out of the backfield and screens and swing passes, things like that. We did have a drop-off in our productivity with the younger players. You know, they showed flashes at times, but there were inconsistencies that, to be expected with young guys. They're learning to play at the NFL level. We also added Trent Sherfield from Minnesota. He had 8 catches and 83 yards from 1 touchdown for Minnesota last year. So not a huge addition, but I don't know what Sean Payton has planned for him. I think that we should add another receiver in day 2 or 3 of the draft. I don't see us picking anybody at 1 because I think we have other needs. Running back, I think, is a lot more important. Probably interior defensive line help, but we'll talk about that more when Matt and I do our mock draft show. I expect the following guys to be gone and off the board before Denver picks in the second round at pick 51. Travis Hunter, who is he a cornerback? Is he a receiver? Is he both? He'll be gone. Tet McMillan out of Arizona, he'll be gone. Luther Burden III out of Missouri, he'll more than likely be gone. Matthew Golden from Texas, he'll be gone. Emeka Egbuka, sorry about the pronunciation, Ohio State, and then Eric Aomana from Stanford. He could slide down into the second round. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and preview 5 guys that I think can be there for Denver in either pick 51 or maybe even trading up later into the second round or, a third round pick. So, all right, go ahead and get buckled up and let's get started. All right, the first one we're going to look at is Jayden Higgins out of Iowa State, 6'4", 215 pounds. He's a big receiver. He's not blazing fast. He has 4.47 40 speed. He's lined up at the X, the Z, and the slot position, so he's very versatile. He's said to have a very high football IQ. He absorbs playbooks, and he can learn multiple route responsibilities. His senior season at Iowa State, he had 87 catches, 1,183 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Let's look at some of the strengths for Higgins. Route running. He's a very savvy route runner. He uses subtle head fakes and route tempo manipulation to create separation from the defenders. He has veteran-like instincts in finding the soft spot in zones, so he'll settle into a window and present a clean target for his quarterback. It's something that Bo Nix would really, really like. And he uses his frame effectively to shield defenders on intermediate routes and back shoulder throws. He has great hands and ball tracking ability. He has a remarkable career drop rate of only 3%. So about 9 drops out of 295 targets. That is impressive. His catch radius, enormous wingspan, 79 3/8 inches, gives him an impressive catch radius, allows him to extend beyond his frame and make catches that other receivers may not be able to reach. His agility, for his size, he surprisingly has very good agility, and he uses subtle shifts and has very good contact balance to extend plays after the catch. Some of the concerns with him, his releases. His release packages are going to need to be defined at the next level. He struggles at times to disengage cleanly from physical corners, which he's probably going to see a lot of those in the NFL. Contested catches, sometimes he can be pretty passive, in contested catch situations. He allows defenders to disrupt the catch point. So he's going to need to be a little more aggressive in those situations. Run blocking, his technique is definitely going to need some work. And this could actually limit him as a 3-down receiver when a team is in a definite run situation. He may not be on the field for that. And then his acceleration out of breaks, it's hindered by his long stride length. So maybe he can work on that, learn how to, shorten that stride coming out of breaks and get better with his acceleration out of breaks. Overall, I think Higgins is going to be a very good receiver at the NFL level. And he's going to need to work on some things and clean some things up if he wants to make that jump from, a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 to a wide receiver 1. He definitely can be a plug-and-play receiver at the next level that's going to make a big impact on a team. And he's proven throughout his collegiate career that he can line up from multiple positions, the X, the Z, and the slot, and be productive. So I think Jayden Higgins is going to be a very good pick. Will he be available at 51? It's going to be close. Denver, if they really like him, may have to try to slide up a little bit to get him. All right, that is Jayden Higgins out of Iowa State. All right, now we're going to take a look at Jack Bech, wide receiver, Texas Christian University. Has decent size, 6'1", 214 pounds, 4.55 40. Multi-role receiver. You can put him in the X, the Z, or the slot positions. His freshman and sophomore seasons, he played at LSU. His freshman season at LSU, he led the team in receptions with 43 catches. He also had 489 yards and 3 touchdowns. His sophomore season, he saw his numbers dip at LSU. After his sophomore season, he transferred to TCU for his junior and senior seasons. His senior season at TCU, he had 62 catches for 1,034 yards and 9 touchdowns. We're going to go ahead and look at some of the strengths for Jack Bech. Focus and concentration. He has elite level focus in traffic. He doesn't let the noise around him disrupt him, so he can concentrate and make those catches. He extends away from his body to snag throws, even in tight coverage, and he's very good at controlling catch space. He uses his body positioning and timing very effectively to box out defenders. He's a physical player before and after the catch. He consistently breaks first contact to extend plays. He has outstanding contact balance working in traffic, so he's not going to get knocked off of routes by defenders. Physical hand fighter and press coverage. He utilizes really good counter techniques to defeat jam attempts and create clean release pass. He's a zone manipulator. He has tremendous skills in finding soft spots and sitting down in the windows, and then he can present a clear target for his quarterback. His ball tracking skills on deep throws is elite. He adjusts naturally to the ball in flight. He rarely gets pushed off track by defenders with defensive contact, and he creates late separation at top of routes using subtle push-offs. Some of the concerns about Jack Bech. He lacks that ideal long speed. He struggles at times to stack physical corners through the stem. He also, lack of long speed does not allow him to consistently separate on vertical routes. His route breaks, he has a tendency to round off his route breaks instead of using sharp breaks. He takes extra steps when he's gearing down. This allows defenders to stay in phase on coverage. And then his explosiveness out of breaks is limited, so it's average, and that limits his separation. Blocking, his effort and technique are inconsistent. Sometimes he loses focus and does not hold the block all the way through the end of the play. Overall, I think Bech will be a nice fit into an offense that runs play action concepts and needs a reliable intermediate option. He does not have the speed to take the top off of a defense. However, his skill set in the NFL level will be good. He's projected to go mid-second round. Could be a good wide receiver 2 for Denver. We're going to look at Tre Harris of Ole Miss. Bigger receiver, 6'3", 210 pounds, has a 4.54 40 time, primarily an outside or an X receiver. In high school, he was a dual threat quarterback. Started his collegiate career at Louisiana Tech, and that's where he converted from quarterback to wide receiver. Played 2 seasons at Louisiana Tech, where he earned first team All Conference USA honors. And he transferred to Ole Miss in 2023 and became one of the premier pass catchers in the SEC. His senior season at Ole Miss saw him pull in 60 catches for 1,030 yards and 7 touchdowns. We're going to go ahead and look at some of the strengths of Tre Harris. He's a natural hands catcher. He grabs the ball away from his frame. He rarely allows the ball into his body, even in traffic. His body control and timing, he's great at boxing out defenders, and he'll time his jumps and high point the ball over defenders. Ball tracking, his ball tracking skills on deep routes are elite level. This makes him deadly on go routes and post routes. He's savvy in the breaks at the route stem, particularly on in routes where he sets up defenders with subtle head and shoulder fakes. He's physical. He's very effective in the red zone. He knows how to get open and make himself a big target. He knows how to use his body to block off defenders and present a clear target for his quarterback. And then he makes consistent effort in the blocking aspect of the game. Some of the concerns about Tre Harris: his offline acceleration. He lacks that explosiveness off the line. He sometimes struggles with beating press coverage cleanly against more physical corners. He has a limited route tree. He really relies heavily on vertical game, so he's really going to have to step it up at the next level to develop his route tree. Route breaks. At times, he'll round his corners, around his cuts, especially on comeback routes. And then he could use some refinement in his intermediate breaks. Play speed, not elite level in the play speed. At times he builds to his top speed rather than showing an instant burst to threaten corners vertically. Overall, I think Harris will fit nice into a system that allows outside receivers a chance to win 50-50 balls. He's good at doing that. He's a good third down receiver. He's going to move the chains for you. I think he'll be a good weapon in the red zone, and I think he's going to be a very good wide receiver 2 option. All right, now we're going to take a look at Jalen Royals, wide receiver at Utah State. He's 6 foot tall, 205 pounds, very fast, 4.32 40 time. He can be a multi-role receiver. You can line him up in the X or the slot positions. He played 2 seasons at Utah State. 2023 season, he had 71 receptions, 1,080 yards, and 15 touchdowns. 2024 season was cut short due to a foot injury. He only played 7 games. He had 55 catches for 834 yards and 6 touchdowns. So he was on pace to have another really good season for Utah State. He did recover fully from the foot injury, was able to participate in the Senior Bowl in February 2025. So I don't think that injury should be a huge issue going into the NFL season. Let's look at some of his strengths. His straight line speed. He has elite level speed. This allows him to stress corners vertically. And then he has a rare combination of long speed and short area wiggle. This consistently allows him to make the first man miss after the catch. He's a natural hands catcher. He plucks the ball out of the air away from his frame, so he doesn't allow the ball to really get into his body a lot. Impressive skill at adjusting the throws that are above his eye level while maintaining his stride on his routes. His route running, he has very good route running skills. He runs through the cuts while maintaining speed through the transition. He has great spatial awareness against zone schemes. And then his body control allows him to adjust his routes based on defensive positioning. He has a really high ceiling. He's young in his football career and still developing his skill set. And his production continues to improve as his technical skills catch up with his physical skills. Some of the concerns with Royals, elite level competition. He has limited experience against elite level competition. He only has about 1.5 years of playing at the group of five level. Press coverage. He struggles at times with press coverage by more physical corners. He's inconsistent in his hand usage to beat press coverage. His route tree is it's underdeveloped right now in the short and intermediate game. Um, he relies heavily on vertical concepts for production. His concentration, he has concentration lapses on routine catches, especially on intermediate routes, working the middle of the field. Overall, I think Royals will be he'll have more of a limited role as he develops his skill set. Sort of reminds me of Marvin Mims a little bit. Marvin Mims came out of Oklahoma, really limited route tree, and Denver really used him just for stretching the field at first. That's what I sort of see Jalen Royals as. I think he would be a good late day two, maybe third round or day three addition to a roster. Okay, the last receiver we're going to look at in this edition is Jaylin Noel out of Iowa State. He's a smaller receiver, 5'10", 194 pounds. He had a 4.39 40 time, so he's fast. He's primarily a slot receiver. He is experienced as a kick and punt returner. He played 4 seasons at Iowa State. His career stats: 244 receptions, 2,851 yards, 18 touchdowns. He had a reception in 46 consecutive games. His senior season, he had 80 receptions, 1,194 yards, and 8 touchdowns. This is all while sharing time with Jayden Higgins. So pretty impressive numbers. We're going to look at some of his strengths. His footwork can be classified as masterful. His release packages, he has the ability to make defenders look like they are stuck in concrete at the line. Creates immediate separation from press coverage. Route running, he's crisp and precise. He uses his eyes, his shoulders, and his pacing to manipulate coverages to create separation. His cuts are sharp, has exceptional plant and drive capabilities. His speed and acceleration is elite level. Clocked a 4.3940 at the combine and had an impressive 1.51 yard split as well. He hits his top speed very quickly. He accelerates out of the breaks, which allows for separation from defenders. And he's also a return specialist, so he's experienced in both kick return and punt returns. Kick returns, he averaged 17.7 yards per return, and punt returns 15.3 yards. He can contribute in special teams at the NFL level. Some of the concerns: concentration. He has a career drop rate of 7.2% over his career. His size hurts him in contested catches. And then he has a smaller wingspan of 72.5 inches. That hurts him in 50-50 balls with longer defenders. Physicality, corners often dictate terms to him at the line of scrimmage, so he's going to have to learn how to be a little more physical. And then he needs to improve his hand fighting skills to create separation at the route stems. After catch creativity, it just does not match his separation skills. He rarely makes the first man miss after the catch. Overall, I think Noel can be a dangerous weapon at the NFL level as a vertical threat out of the slot and possibly in the return game. He projects to be a late second or early third round pick.